Hello and welcome to your mat. I'm Rala, a yoga teacher and well-being guide. In this video, we will be working with a wall to strengthen the muscles around your hips and shoulders. A wall is a fabulous prop to use for resistance and support. This practice is suitable for all levels and all bodies and is especially important for adults over 60. This video is part of my Simple Yoga series where we work with basic yoga movements to explore more flexibility and strength in our body. Please like and subscribe to my channel so that you can get all the latest videos. There are 5 poses and this will take you about 14 minutes. Get your mat, find a bit of wall, and let's begin. The first position we're going to do is a wall squat. A wall squat is great because it helps strengthen the thigh muscles and the glute muscles in your butt. And these muscles are our main movers for stability and motion. Take your feet a little bit away from the wall, about a foot distance or so. Have them hip distance apart facing forward, and then bring yourself into the squat against the wall. Slide yourself down a little bit and have the lower back pressing into the wall so you feel your abdominal muscles engaging. Maybe you already start to feel a little bit of burn in your thighs. That's good. It means that they're working. Take the hands just to rest down by your side so you're not tempted to press into the hands. And it's not important here if the back of the head goes to the wall, particularly if it means that the chin goes up. What we're looking for more now is this work in the thigh muscles. So the knees straight forward and you're pressing the lower back to the wall and extend the spine up tall. Take a few more breaths in and out here. Feel the burn, stay with your breath, and then come forward and release. This is a great way to strengthen the thighs and will also help with any knee pain that you experience. We're going to repeat it, but this time we're going to involve the muscles around the shoulders. So take the same distance as you did before. Have the feet a little bit away from the wall. Slide yourself down into the squat. Lower back pressing against the wall. Knees straight forward out of the hips. Now, take the hands, straighten the arms, and take the back of the hands against the wall. And start to press the backs of the wrists against the wall. And you may feel then that the shoulders also start to press against the wall more. This is good. This is starting to not only work the thigh muscles, but you should feel a little bit of work around the shoulder blades. So pretend that there's a strong magnet pulling your wrists towards the wall and you're still keeping your lower back against the wall. Smile and breathe. One more breath in and out, and then bring yourself forward to come up. This is a pose that you can repeat often during the day when you're waiting for the kettle to boil or you find yourself you have free time. The more often you do it, the stronger it will become. The next pose we're going to do is tree pose. Tree pose is one of my favorite poses to build mobility and strength in the hips. The standing leg hip, we're going to be looking at strengthening the outer hip, and the raised leg, we're looking at hip mobility. Now, if you've had a hip replacement, you're not going to necessarily take that foot all the way up into the thigh. You can just turn the knee out, the hip out, and have the foot onto the floor. So we'll begin standing onto the left leg. So shifting the weight, have the back against the wall so that you don't necessarily need to worry about the balance. So the foot, depending on the size of your buttocks, the foot may be a little bit away from the wall, feet hip distance apart. Now, when you shift the weight, make sure that that left outer hip stays in towards the body, so you're not leaning into that outer hip to bring that other foot up. We want to create strength and keep the alignment of that femur bone into the pelvic socket. So maybe you have to shift the weight a little bit, bring up the right knee, take hold of the ankle, so you're leaning against the wall, you can take your other hand to the wall, and then turn the knee out to the side from the hip. Now keep holding onto the ankle and press the foot onto the inner thigh. You're still pressing into the wall with the buttocks and the shoulders. If you find it difficult to get the foot to the inner thigh, that's totally fine. You just take it lower. You do what's available to your body, and we're not going into the balance, you're using the wall for balance. If you're here with the foot against your inner thigh, keep working that heel into the thigh and that hip into the heel. If you want to see if you can take your hand away and see if the foot stays there, then you can. Stand up tall with the spine, ascend the whole of the spine up. You're using the hand against the wall, and then inhale with an exhalation, release the leg. Let's do the other side. So now we're shifting the weight to the right leg. Keep that hip stable, keep it moving in towards the body, and raise the left knee up. Take hold of the ankle. Remember, if you have a hip replacement, you're keeping the foot on the floor and you're just turning the leg out slightly, keeping the toes on the floor. So here you're bringing the left heel and inner foot to the right inner thigh. Press against the wall for balance. Ascend the spine up. You can keep holding onto that ankle. Remember, if you don't get it into the inner thigh, just take it lower down. If you're holding the foot onto the inner thigh, you can have your other hand against the wall for support. See if it stays there. Keep both buttocks against the wall. So the heel's pressing into the thigh, the outer hip's pressing into the heel, and there's this containment. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, release, take the leg down. Turn towards the wall. Take the hands as high as your hips. So here we're going to go into a half forward fold. A half forward fold, we're looking at lengthening the hamstrings. Step back, taking the hands as wide as the shoulders, spread the fingers apart, and find a position so that your legs are vertical. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, then maybe you're taking your hands further up the wall, bringing your feet a little bit closer so that you're more in a position like this. There's no point in, if you have tight hamstrings, to curl the back and compress the discs in between the spine. It's healthier for your spine, for your body, for your mind, to really work to your capacity. So see what works for you. Either you're higher up, and you only go so far as you feel a moderate stretch in the back of the thighs. Otherwise, if your hands are lower down, feet hip distance apart, take pause here for the moment. Press the hands against the wall. Keep the elbows moving towards the head. And now start to pull the hips back as you press your hands into the wall. Lift up your toes for a moment and notice how that helps to lift your thighs up. The more the legs are working, the more the muscles are hugging onto the thigh bones. You can take the toes down, connect with your breath, relax the muscles of your neck. One more breath in and out here. Really feeling the length of the arms, of the legs, of the spine. And then inhale, step forward and come up. We'll take this one step further with a little bit of challenge by raising one of the legs. If you felt that this was as far as you want to go, then you just repeat this pose. Otherwise, we're going to do a variation of Vrksasana 3, warrior pose. So finding the same position. So either your hands are further up the wall or they're as high as your hips. And you see I'm spreading my fingers, hands as wide as my shoulders. Feet are slightly apart. What I love about Warrior 3 is the same work as in tree pose. It works to strengthen the standing leg outer hip. So you're going to inhale, shift your weight into your left leg, and don't let it move out towards the side. So you move the left outer hip to the right. Then all you're doing is sliding the right toes back. I'm keeping them on the floor. I re-establish the pressure of my hands into the wall, and then inhale, keeping rolling that right outer hip down. I lift the leg up and away. I'm not so concerned about how high that leg goes up. I'm more concerned about, can I keep the stability of my pelvis, which means I'm not turning that hip up like this. I'm rolling that hip down to the floor, so this part of my body is level with the floor. Press into the ball of the foot, press into the hands. Inhale and bring the foot back with an exhalation. Find your stability here, both hands pressing into the wall, both feet onto the floor. Let's do the other side. Inhale, shift your weight to the right, keeping that right outer hip firm, and slide the toes of your left foot. Keep them on the floor. Roll that left hip down. Press into the hands, and then inhale, float that leg up. You've got the wall for balance. Press into the toes of that foot. Stretch the leg away. Both knees are straight. It's not important about how high that foot goes up or how high that leg goes up. Make sure that the neck is soft, throat is soft, nose is pointing down to the floor. Inhale with an exhalation, gently bring that leg back down, and then step forward to release. Final pose is legs up the wall. So come and lie close to the wall and take your legs up the wall. So this is going to be our relaxation. If you're menstruating, then just go straight back into a flat shavasana. When you're menstruating, you don't take the legs up into an inversion. If your hamstrings are tight, you might want to scoot yourself a little bit away from the wall so that there's more of an angle from the buttocks to the heels. Otherwise, have the feet slightly apart, spread the arms to the side, and close your eyes. Settle into your breath. Allow the whole of the back to rest onto the floor. Release the shoulders. Release the back of your head. Stretch the heels up the wall. So this is called Viparita Karani, which basically means legs up the wall or inverted leg. And in this position, you want the abdomen to be quiet, soft, and settled. It's a basic inversion in that the legs are above the heart. And it's a really excellent pose to soothe the nervous system, quieten down the mind. And if you've been on your feet a lot, whether it's walking or hiking or running, this is a really good pose to ease any pressure or swelling out of the feet, ankles or knees. So just lying like this for 5 or 10 minutes can make a huge difference to how your legs are feeling. Even how your mind is feeling. It's an incredibly powerful, nurturing pose. If you have time to only do one pose a day, maybe it's this. Smooth, soft inhale. Smooth, soft exhale. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to your breath, back to your body. Now either, if you have time, you can stay like this for as long as you want, as long as you need. Or slide your feet down, cross your ankles. And then when you're ready, roll over to your side and come up and sit. Cross your legs however you find comfortable and join your palms in front of your chest, or you can rest them on your knees. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Just connecting with the breath, connecting with your practice. And then taking the head down, taking the hands down. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time.